Hello, my beloved.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I just moved my leg and therefore the dog is now looking up at me like, hey, you woke me up. Now let's do stuff.
Oh, that happens.
Oh, she's laying back down. She's laying back down.
Oh, good.
Hello. Hello to you, Dr. Jonathan, and
Hello.
hello to our beautiful and wonderful viewers and those willing to be brave enough to have a radically affirmative new thought. Thanks for
Yes.
joining us.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
this
I'm
is
feeling
the rant.
very, I'm feeling very like calm and reflective today. I'm not my usual
Mm.
bouncing off the wall self, and I don't want people to think that like there's something wrong because I usually am very like Today I just feel I feel very mellow today.
Yeah, we'll probably energize you in just a minute. I mean, when we have
Well,
radically affirmative new thoughts.
I'm not saying I'm not energized. I'm saying
Oh,
that
yes.
energy is taking on a different form today.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just getting my phone out. Go ahead, everybody, get your phone out and
Oh,
you just share into all the places you're allowed to share. Boom.
okay.
And that way we get radically affirmative new thought out into the world in an ever greater way. Every engagement you have with this post, it helps. It helps feed the algorithm good stuff because we know algorithms are filled with all kinds of stuff. So let's get it filled with radically affirmative new thought, radical joy, radical love, radical consciousness. Let's wake ourselves up to a greater experience today than we had yesterday because
Okay.
we are untapped potential waiting to be unwrapped. Let's do that together today. Let us know in the comments you're here, where you're watching from, what you want us to rant about,
Mhm.
because like
I
Dr.
have a
Jonathan just said,
I
reflective.
I have a question to start with.
Nice.
It's a question that actually led. Sorry, I'm just looking real quick for where did I put it? Like I had a book here. Oh, it's way over there. Um, what is faith?
What is faith?
Mhm.
Faith is the unconditional knowingness that everything's okay.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. I
Because
just
I would say that
yeah,
is
like, it's for me, it's just knowing, like, it's a knowingness, it's a beyond question that this is right and perfect exactly as it is no matter what. Like, I know I'm not describing what everybody else would call it faith, but, I know there's a quote that people use all the time about what faith is, and it rubs me the wrong way every time because they're using it as something, right? It's like a
Hmm.
poking or a it's so it's just fascinating.
Yeah. Actually, I like what Wayne wrote here. I'm going to put it up real quick.
Oh, yes, yes, love that.
Oh, there we go. Find answers in the heart. I love an
I love
acronym.
that. I love an
So
acronym.
yeah,
Yeah,
I love that. Thank you, Wayne.
yeah,
Um,
that's it right there. Exactly.
yeah, find answers in the heart.
What he
Anyway,
said.
it's a question that's come up in the last couple classes that I've taught. I'm teaching spiritual economics right now, and
Mm,
part of it is how do you move forward with this sort of nebulous thing that gets redefined all the time based on what's happening in any given moment that we call faith.
mhm.
And one of the things that came up in my Monday class with some of my more advanced students is the notion, we talk about this, um, that you cannot have any more or less faith than you have right in this moment,
Yeah.
right? And I imagine we've all heard that, and then like really like drilling down into the consideration about that idea. What does it mean that you
Mhm.
cannot have more or less faith than you have right now? It's just what is the direction of your faith is sometimes how we phrase it. But then we started talking about like a pie chart. Like if your faith is represented in a pie chart and you've got, various percentages that are,
Yeah.
attributed to the faith, to your faith, like if I just do a binary, I'm just going to, just for the sake of it, of demonstration, I'm going to talk about it in terms of binary. I can have faith in love and faith in fear.
Mm.
Where is the tipping point? Is my faith in love only 10% and my faith in fear 90?
Yeah.
Same faith, but how am I applying that faith? It's been on my mind a lot lately, so I just wanted to throw that question.
Yeah. Well, and because there's a difference too between belief and faith.
Tell me the difference.
Um, like I believe, I believe the sun rises and sets, but I have faith that the sun never goes anywhere. I'm in a time zone and the earth is circling. Like I know, poor examples. My
I'm
brain
like,
has been my
like,
brain is wonky this
that's
past
okay.
week.
I'm
But
like,
like yeah,
the sun, well, based on relative perception, the sun rises and sets, but it actually doesn't rise and set.
yeah.
Yeah,
It doesn't rise and set. It
it doesn't.
simply is. And that's faith. My beliefs changed because I had a belief about myself that I wasn't worthy and wasn't enough and wasn't going to amount to anything, but thankfully I had a faith in something greater than myself that 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 changed my belief about things, right? So my beliefs can change, but like you said, my faith doesn't change. I will always have this faith.
Hmm.
So my faith may change as like in what I believe, but that's the beliefs changing.
The beliefs do transform, and I teach that our beliefs are grounded in faith. So what is it that you have, like what is the dominance of faith expressed through your beliefs in your life? Because that's how your life is showing up, right?
Yes.
There's a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
question that actually Chris brought up, because and it's basically related to how I did that binary, faith in love or faith in fear. And you ask why have faith in fear? First of all, it was just an example, just to give a binary. I would suggest that many of us are moving away from an underlying faith in fear that we have been taught in our culture. And I'm saying that this is below the level of awareness. Not most people are not aware that they have faith in some sort of fear-based thinking, but it's
Mhm.
demonstrating in their life. It's showing up in their life in some manner. And so
Mhm.
that's kind of what I think about in terms of faith and fear. But part of the path that I'm on is to let go of any notion um, that I am not empowered in my life to bring to the level of awareness that which is not working for me, so that I can then do something about it. You know, that for me is the power of new thought. The new thought philosophy is that we are impelled into action through our spiritual practice. And spiritual practice is an invitation for us to awaken and open to that which is below the level of awareness, but showing up everywhere in our lives.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm very
Yeah.
reflective today in a different way.
Well, and it's if it's not love, like I mean, how many people, how many teachers in our lives, spiritual teachers or gurus or masters or I don't know, mountain climbers, um, have said now that I've described so many people, I've forgotten. if it's not if it's not love, it's fear. Like
Right.
if you're responding to anything in a way that is counterproductive to love, to compassion,
Hmm.
to empathy, to these beautiful, loving effects in our lives, then it's fear.
Hmm.
Because, and so we fear what we don't know. We fear the mystery, right? And there's a divine mystery unfolding right now, all of the time. There is never not a moment where the divine mystery isn't expressing itself because it is, it's beautifully creative, and
Hmm.
and we are just vessels of this magnificent source and substance.
Yeah.
And often we freeze in moving forward because we are afraid. We are afraid of the mystery. We're afraid of not knowing what's next. But nobody knows what's next. Nobody knows what's next.
I said
And
that in class
anyone,
last
walk
night.
away. If someone says, I know exactly what's next, walk away because nobody knows what's next. You can prepare, you can plan, you can organize, but you don't know that magnificent event is going to go exactly as planned.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm someone who has a clipboard and a thing to check mark things. I am that
Hmm.
person. And yet you cannot plan for the divine mystery because often, right, we do prayer work, we do spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer for something to happen. And we think we're the ones making it
So I have to laugh a little bit because as you're saying that, I'm like, uh, I'm a planner too. I don't know if you know that about me. Um,
happen. Clipboard. Love it.
I record lists, notebooks. Like I endeavor to plan. Um, Not because I think that everything's going to work exactly according to plan, although I do have the faith that things are going to work out in perfection, in in perfection, um, but may not look the way I plan them to look, but it's still perfection. But the reason that I laugh a little bit is because my husband, it's kind of a game we play now because for instance, on Monday morning. So we take our dog to daycare twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. And on Monday morning, uh, he got up late, but it's his day to take the dog to daycare. And he gets up late, and I'm literally like ready to walk out the door. And he looks at me and says, Can you take him to daycare today? I'm like, No, I can't. But it's this like thing where he will like at the last minute have me do something, or ask me to do something with the assumption that, he didn't have to plan for it to begin with. So I think the whole point of this, I'm rambling a little bit, but the whole point of this is to say we don't know
Yep.
what it holds. We don't know what the moment five seconds from now holds. And isn't that something that we can also perhaps embrace and love? Is that there is a mystery to the future, and our responsibility is to live our present moment to its fullest.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up, and that's why it's important to bring our awareness to be in the present. Like
Yeah.
that that's the gift that we have, right? Our
Mhm.
awareness is our only true gift to
Right.
give anyone our attention. If we're giving someone else attention, that's the only true gift.
Hmm.
And so our awareness of the divine is the gift we are giving, not only the divine, but ourselves because we are present. And this moment is the only thing. So,
Yeah.
like making ourselves aware, self increase, self discovery. This is where I'm at these days, right? Like there's nothing outside. There are no answers outside of me.
Mm-mm.
There are no answers outside of me.
Mm-mm.
I've looked under every rock and in every nook and cranny. I have looked for answers outside of me. But the only answers that I find are the ones that show up within me that bring me to that place of faith. Ah, you're right, magnificent mind. You're right, divine mind through me. That feels right to me. That feels true to me. I can trust that essence because it is like this thing that's happening. That divine mystery is revealing itself in the moment. And if we're not present for the moment, ooh, watch out. we like, like I say all the time, a bored Steffi is a dangerous Steffi. Right? Like if I get bored, I will create some stuff. I'll get a spoon and whip up a bowl of
Hmm.
and and so to be more present, and finding the exhilaration in everything, like every moment that is the gift that we're unwrapping. Every moment, the aware presence I give to my food as I prepare it,
Yeah.
right? The aware presence I give to pedestrians while I'm driving, and like like I've shared before, I bless everything as I'm moving and flowing and having my being. I bless everything because who knows what that could do?
Right.
Who knows what that could do?
Yeah.
And so that's my faith, to just blindly trust the inner knower, because when it feels right, you know it's truth. Your body knows when it's lies. Your body knows when it's unsafe. Your body knows. And the way you listen deeply is to be present for it.
Mhm.
We are a divine energy tuning fork, right? We're just vibrating up against whatever isn't before us. I
Yeah.
was describing in an email just yesterday, talking about faith in your inner knower. Like we're dropping pebbles. Our thoughts or our actions, we're dropping pebbles in this ocean of consciousness, and you can't stop the ripple once it's started. You can redirect it. You can drop another pebble and redirect, but you can't stop energy from flowing once
Mm-mm.
it's flowing.
Mm-mm.
So being present for this gift of a moment just means way less apologizing. That's what I have found in my life. If I am present for the words before they come, then there's way less apologizing in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I used to be someone who really was riddled with anxiety, and I would have panic attacks. I think that's something that you and I might have in common.
Mm.
Having known you now for
Umpteen
almost
years.
almost a decade and a half, um, and uh, and I think about that, and the thing that transformed it all for me was remembering that anxiety is just ready, having faith in the unknown future, but that faith is in the potential for a disastrous unknown future, right? And so the way that I resolved anxiety in my life was to really practice presencing, to practice being in the present and breathing into this moment, knowing this is all there is. Like, this is it. There is no future. So why should I fear that unknown future?
Yeah.
There is only this moment.
Yeah. My shift around anxiety has just been so um it's like anxiety is just something that happens to my body now, and my mind recognizes it. I
Mhm.
don't lean into it like it was once my identity. I was
Mhm.
diagnosed with chronic anxiety disorder. Woo, look at me.
Mhm.
Panicking while I wait for the bus. And I wore it. I wore it. And now it's just something I experience, acknowledge, and that faith and that inner knower knows that this is passing. This is just anxiety.
Mhm.
Oh, look at me, I'm having a panic attack. Like it's such a different story now
Yeah.
than like my mind is so much um more capable of being present for it instead of present for the fear or the whatever's causing it, but to just no, I'm in control here. I have absolute authority over this whole temple.
Right. I want to say something about that though, because never underestimate the times when you might need support in that. And that,
Oh, for sure.
we talk a good game about this being inner work, and that, it's up to us. We're responsible for the flow
Mhm.
and function of our minds, our hearts, and our lives, right? We
Yeah.
we talk about that all the time. But I, a couple of years ago, had was started having panic attacks again. And it was after a dear friend of mine. We were in Hawaii together, on the island of Kauai. And while we were there, my friend had a heart attack.
Yeah.
And, I was the one to support him through, getting to the hospital, getting on a airlift, basically a plane to go from Kauai to Oahu, because there were not appropriate hospital facilities to address a heart attack on Kauai. So we had to go to Honolulu And you know, so it's like this also address it kind of changed up our experience in Hawaii. So I spent a lot of my time in hospitals on that particular trip. And so it happened towards the beginning of that week trip that we were together. He went in, they put in stents. He was released. We flew back to Kauai the next day, not a high altitude flight. So the doctors cleared him to fly, you know, back to the other island. He rested, relaxed. And then like a couple days later, he had a panic attack and thought he was having another heart attack. And so what do? We call 911, get him to the hospital, get on an airplane, get over to Honolulu. Like it was twice that this happened. I came away from that experience and started having panic attacks myself. And of course, if you know the symptoms of a panic attack,
Yeah.
it's like I was equating it to, oh my gosh, I'm now having a heart attack. And it's a terrifying experience. And there's that part of me here's the thing. There's that part of me that knew this is not a heart attack. This is just a panic attack. And you can allow yourself to relax right in this moment, to know the truth of your being, to presence as you teach, and move through it with grace and with ease. And so I worked on that for a while. And then there was one day where it came up again. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go get myself checked out. I don't think I'm having a panic. I don't think I'm having a heart attack. But what is the hurt in going to get it checked out? So I went to the ER. And of course, if you go into an emergency room and you say, I think I'm having a heart attack, boy, do they get you back into a, you know, into a bed real fast.
Yeah.
And of course I get back there, they do the tests and everything is like, it's like, I have perfect sinus rhythm. You know, everything is perfect. Everything is fine. And after that, no more panic attacks. And it's because I had the confirmation from something outside the self that said, you're absolutely okay. And
Yeah.
so it's okay to be okay. And
Mhm.
so don't underestimate the power of being told all is well and believing it.
Yeah, for
Because
sure. Yeah, if you need a second opinion, for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, my last one, we were my wife and I were cooking dinner, but it was a you know, a rough week or something. Something was going on. And you know, for those of you who know, it was around August. Um and so you might know a little bit about what was going on in my life. Um and I just stopped what I was doing. I said, I need to sit down. I'm having a panic attack.
Mhm.
And so, you know, Tammy came and sat down with me. So like, you know, absolutely make sure you're saying it out loud. Like you know, we can use our own magnificent, brilliant mind to settle down, which I did.
Mhm.
And know and remember, you are never alone. You are
Right.
never alone in this journey
Mhm.
in whatever it is. If you have depression, there are people, places, and things for you. If you have anxiety, there are people, places, and things for you. You know, you're not alone. If you're grieving a loss of community, there are new communities waiting to embrace you. There's, you know, there's all of this. This is We're not up a mountain in an island hibernating in a cave.
Mhm.
This is life, and there we are communal people, right?
Mhm.
We are a tribal species,
Mhm.
and we get through this together,
Yeah.
and that's also very important. Very
Yeah.
important. I am not where I am today spiritually, consciously, you know, wherever I am, I'm not here alone. There is
Mhm.
always someone helping me, by whether it's, you know, the sacred friend technique where it's like, oh, or if it's a beloved teacher just shining a light on a new path. There's Our teachers are everywhere, and
Yeah.
our companions are everywhere, and you are not alone.
Right.
I am not alone in any of this,
No.
especially when I'm with the divine all the time.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I had another thought though. hmm The other thought is, and this actually goes back to the statement that we began with, which is faith, and where is your faith directed? Because as I think about that experience of thinking I was having a heart attack and it was actually a panic attack, my husband kept saying, "You're just having a panic attack. It's all okay." But my faith in his statement was not, you know,
Yeah.
was not sufficient. And
Yeah.
so it took going to a medical professional to have the same idea
Mm.
spoken to me for me to actually then settle my mind into a state of belief that eliminated the demonstration of the disbelief. And so what are you listening to? Who are you listening to? And who are you believing? I think is another
Yeah.
big question.
That's a great point. Who are you believing?
hmm
That's a great point.
hmm
Yes.
We
Um,
ministers, those of us in this field, we would like you to believe us, but you're in charge of your beliefs. I say it every Sunday. You don't have to believe what I believe. This
yeah.
works for me. You're in charge of your beliefs, but I continue to express the doctrine because I believe it.
Yeah.
Because I believe it. And
I believe
so
it.
where are you directing your faith?
Yeah.
Mm,
Like yes, I believe it because I have demonstrated its
mhm,
evidence into my life, right? Hey, Sherry. The tricky part when I have uh, felt alone, even though I have heard I am not alone, the sliver of faith in that can seem very, very small. Mm.
mm,
Yeah, like for sure, for sure. Like when I would say in my darkest times, it was the dark times of my 20s. Oh my gosh, don't wish it on anyone. But when I was um in my faith in my depression, right?
mhm,
But when I was in my depressed state, the, no one, people around me were being loving and caring and empathetic and compassionate, and I didn't believe any of them actually
mhm.
wanted my highest good. I felt very alone. Felt very
Yeah.
alone, but they were so persistent, and God bless them. They just, they cracked the shell and kept peeling it away, and then
Mhm,
finally I could see that I could also peel it away.
mhm.
But there are times. I mean, as awakened and enlightened as I am, mm, um, there's still days, right? Everybody still has days,
Mhm.
and like even the most enlightened person on the planet can't tell me they're not having a day every now and then
Yeah.
because it is a we are human beings, y'all.
I got my
We are
days.
human beings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, sometimes, and I mean, if life was perfect, right? And it is, but in a perfect world, to be able to be enlightened all of the time, you're getting the right amount of sleep, you're taking the right amount of nutrients, you're partaking in the right communities and the right conversations, you're getting out in nature in the right times and the right ways. Everything, that's that would be so kumbaya, everybody's awesome. Because but
I
that's
actually
not
just
that's
I have a slight disagreement with that
for sure.
because my perception of rightness may be
Mhm.
different than your perception of rightness, and they may be in conflict with one another. So it can't possibly be kumbaya.
Well, then we're not all in our rightness, right? Like
Rightness is
my
an
right
assumption,
amount of
though, Steph.
so but
It,
divine right action.
I
So
I
what
never use
if
divine right action.
every yeah.
I don't
Well,
because
Charles and Ernest have.
I
But
understand.
that doesn't mean that has to be a thing for sure. But every single person on the planet what was had their needs met, in such a way that was right for the human body,
So that's different, though. You're talking about something different now,
we would be more likely to wake up on the right side of the bed.
which is a different use of the word right. Even, yeah. If all our needs were met, um, I, frankly, I would love that. If every expression of divine life across this planet, universally, frankly, had every need met without question or hesitation, it would be a very different life we would experience.
Yeah.
Um, and I just will always take umbrage with this, rightness, because people have different assumptions about what is right, and then we granulate it down to this judgment, this value judgment on what is and is not appropriate in the expression of our lives. And there will continue to be conflict, because if your sense of right is different from my sense of right, but you try to tell me what is right, it's
Mhm.
going to be we're going to continue in conflict rather than in cooperation.
For sure, but that sense of right is not what I'm talking about. Like right for the individual. What is like right for
That's
what is
exactly what I'm
right for
saying.
you
There may be
is
conflict in that, because
it
what is right for me as an individualization may be different from what is right for you as an individualization, and we should not generalize it.
for for sure. That's not I'm not talking about me making you less right. I'm talking about if I get the right amount of sleep for my well-being, if I get the right amount of nutrients for my well-being, if I have enough shelter and enough warmth and enough love, like then life seems easy. Oh, it's like ooh, everybody's like what you were just saying about requirements. What if everyone's needs were met? Then what could we do?
Okay.
Right? Because right now it's the right and wrong. That's not at all what I'm talking about. Because, a world that works for everyone, you're not going to make one size fits all. That is absolutely never going to be that's never going to be okay or never going to be right because every single one of us has a unique and unrepeatable individualization of our own personal wholeness.
Hmm.
So what I'm talking about is that it's right for you. The same way faith, when you trust, it's a physical awareness. And when all of my good lines up and I'm getting my food. I mean, lately there's days I'm like, I forgot to eat breakfast again. Oh, I got 3 hours of sleep. Like, so those days are harder for me to be enlightened within
Hmm.
because I have to try harder. But when I have great sleep, when I'm taking care of myself, when I'm making sure that my needs are met and all of that stuff, it is easier to be awake and enlightened or present for the moment. But like doctors saying, everyone between this age and this age should be this body weight and get this much sleep and take in this much calories. I say BS. You don't
Totally.
know. You don't know. No, no, you don't know.
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, so now science is proving that you can get 5 hours to 10 hours of sleep. Like, it's a spectrum. So life is a spectrum, and what suits us individually on our path. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not
Okay.
talking about making anyone else wrong about anything because I don't know. I don't know what's best for you. I
Yeah.
don't know what's best for anybody. I am
Hmm.
solely responsible for the relationship I'm having with this life.
Hmm.
It's,
So I appreciate that, and
yeah.
it you know clearly I was misunderstanding you, so I apologize for that.
Oh, no worries. No
It's so funny
apology.
because it's one of those words, like
Yeah.
rightness, like it makes me a little clearly it makes me a little insane. It's kind of like the other thing, God is good. I'm like, no, God is, period.
God
Like
is, period. Yeah.
good is a judgment, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I think the nature of God is goodness, like it is constructive. That's how I understand it. But constructive expression can sometimes look like
Mhm.
destruction in the world of form,
Yeah.
you know. But I will hold firm in my faith that God is goodness flowing forth always, irrespective of what the
Yes.
circumstances look like. It's all God
Mhm.
because God
Mhm.
is.
Well, and the moment and we've talked about this on the rant before, I'm sure, but the moment we place judgment or a label on something, we are creating separation. And when we create separation, we are creating suffering. And the
Mhm.
only suffering in the world is a belief in separation.
Yeah.
And why are we separating ourselves? Because of fear and not love. If
Mhm.
we return to love, if we return to that space of just knowingness that if the divine is in me, it is in all things, because I am not separate
Right.
from life. I am not separate from this life. I'm a piece of it, a part of it. Right
Mhm.
now we're pixels within this infinite wholeness, right? And so absolutely, like when there's judgment, when there's labeling, when there's otherness, that is suffering. That's what creates war. That's what creates hunger. I mean, with that, like withholding, there's governments or people withholding food from starving people. You
Mhm.
cannot tell me that's an action of love or power. That is not. Compassion is one of the most powerful things a person could
Mhm.
ever express into this life.
Mhm.
Sharing your good with others is one of the most precious things we could ever do. And
Mhm.
so, with withholding and otherness, saying that someone else's orientation or preferences is should not be allowed. That who are you? The divine created everything, including my discomfort
Mhm.
with whatever it is, to make me grow and to expand and become comfortable with
Mhm.
what is. So,
Mhm.
yeah, stop. And I'm preaching to myself when I say stop judging, because I do.
Well,
I'm a judger. I
well,
I'm learning how to say it out loud less for sure. But it's a human thing. We label, we put things in boxes.
yeah. Well, and any message that we give as spiritual leaders is yeah, it's always the message we need to be listening to. It's, I tell people that's how I know what to say on Sundays. I'm teaching the lesson I need to learn
Hmm.
always. And so
Always, yeah.
I'm never at a and the thing is I'm never at a loss of something to offer on a Sunday. Been doing this now for almost 15 years and I always got something to say on Sunday. Even when I think I've got nothing to say, because there are mornings I would wake up on a Sunday and go, yeah, I got nothing. It's usually my most profound talks that come out on those days.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm about to get up on a stage and I'm like, oh, I have nothing. I mean, I have notes, but I have nothing. And then I get
Hmm.
up there and say stuff and people are like, oh my God, that's the best talk I've ever heard. I'm like, what?
Right.
What did I say? I have no
Yeah.
idea. I guess I'll watch the replay.
Grateful we
Yeah.
have that available now. Yeah. I
Yes.
also I was telling one of my classes, I said, because I'm teaching a class of people who are basically stepping into roles of spiritual leadership for the first time. And
Mm.
I think about, when I was doing that 20 years ago, uh, that, there's video evidence of me really, in my mind, screwing it up. And I watch some of those videos sometimes and I'm like, what the hell was I thinking in saying that or offering that as an idea that people should consider? Like, and I know that maybe 15, 20 years from now, I could look back on this rant and go, what the hell was I thinking offering that as a consideration that people should have? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
God bless us.
yeah.
God bless us,
We're,
everyone. Yeah.
we're in a state of
I mean,
infinite
uh,
evolution.
there's a YouTube channel from my very first community, the Center for Spiritual Living West Kootenai. We didn't close the channel because there's videos on there,
Mhm.
and who knows, right? Who knows? So it's still there.
Are you saying you might move back to the Kootenays?
No.
You don't know what tomorrow holds? We started off this whole conversation by saying you don't know what
Hey,
tomorrow holds.
I said for the 13 years I did not live in Winnipeg, Manitoba, that I would never, ever, ever, never, never, ever, ever move back to Winnipeg. And here I am, landed and grown roots. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same
Um,
with Tucson. And when I moved to Toronto, I said, I will never leave Toronto. Like, yeah, you know that I've been at Unity of Tucson now longer than I served in Toronto.
isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I know. So anyway, so there are talks on that channel
Hmm.
that are me fresh out of ministerial studies reading talks,
Hmm.
right? It's like, oh my gosh. And I remember the day. I'm like, I don't want to read my talk. I want like Dr. Ken Gordon, my teacher, gets up there with a little sliver of paper in his pocket just in case he needs to read a quote.
Hmm.
And so one Sunday I all I did was bring up this book. I held the book the whole time, and I gave a 20-minute talk without notes, and I was like, "Oh, so that's how you do it.
Hmm.
You just do it. You just do
Well,
it."
one of my favorite things to do, and I do this once a quarter. If there's a fifth Sunday in the month, I don't prepare any notes at all. I don't really even think about what am I going to say on Sunday. And it used to be that when I was in a religious science, serving in a religious science community, like I would just bring up the Science of Mind book. But now that I'm in a Unity community, I bring up 5 paper bags, and in each paper bag is a different book. In fact, it was just this past Sunday, and so in the books, look, they're right back here. I had Discover the Power Within You. I had the 5 Principles. I had the Science of Mind. I had the Power of Decision and Discover Your Divinity.
Mm.
And I ask the community choose a bag, and then I get that bag. I have them all with big numbers, and so I get that bag. And this week, what was in that bag was the 5 Principles by Ellen Davenport. Pull out the book, open up, and say there are this many pages. Tell me which page to go to. Go to that page.
Yeah.
Say there are 3 paragraphs. Which paragraph should I read? They tell me which paragraph to read. I read that paragraph, and then I give my talk based on what I read.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know
That's
what?
awesome.
It's like there's a part of it with like that thinks maybe I should just do that every Sunday. Like, stop preparing talks altogether. What does Spirit want to say today?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what wants to be known? What wants to be expressed? I don't know.
Yep. And that's like um the faith
It's like
in
that requires.
in my life, right? Like those days where I'm sitting in the front row waiting to go up, which doesn't happen as much as now because I'm online. So I still do talks. I'm just sitting right here. Um,
Mhm.
but I'm just sitting there going, I don't have anything. So what? But I have faith that Spirit's going to use my mouth.
Mhm.
Like whatever Spirit wants to say today, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, it always works out. That's why I continue to have faith. It always works out. Faith around finances, right?
Hmm.
I have been homeless and hungry. So now I have faith that all of my needs are always met. Why? Because I have used this philosophy and teaching in my life to create a more prosperous and abundant heart and
Hmm.
mind and life. It's not about, I'm never concerned
Right.
about things like that because, I'll do a spiritual mind treatment and someone will make a donation or someone will say, "Hey, Steph, can you come and do a talk?" Yeah, I absolutely can do that.
Hmm.
Absolutely. That's my joy. And it's just always, I mean, for this has been like years now. Just I have faith, my bills are getting paid, even if it's like looking squeezy and crunchy. Everything, all my needs are met. My
Hmm.
requirements are fulfilled.
Hmm.
And
You make me think. One thing I want to let. This is more of a. I guess I'm going to do a little plug.
mhm,
If you're in Tucson and you are someone who maybe is experiencing food insecurity or know someone who's experiencing food insecurity, one thing I want to let people know is that we actually have started a free food pantry here at Unity of Tucson. And so
Oh, beautiful.
parts of our members of our community will contribute to it. We have it's going to be a year-round free food pantry. So if you have some food insecurity, please make your way up to Unity of Tucson and know that without question or judgment, you can come in, take whatever you need, and it is
Yeah.
available to you. So I just wanted to put that out there because
Yes.
we have resources. We have resources, and it is my desire that no one should go without.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly my whole point of
Yeah.
this whole time.
hmm
We are not in this alone, right?
And if I were to go back to just poke you a little bit, I would say that the development of a free food pantry, which was something that somebody came to me and said, "Hey, I'd like to do this." I said, "Absolutely, go for it. Here's the space," and
Yeah.
they did everything related to it. That to me is divine right action.
That is. That's exactly my point.
Mhm,
That's it. It's that. It's like, because if it's divine, it is. So, yeah,
mhm.
that term, I totally get the
In that
perspective
regard.
of that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think so here's why I sometimes disagree with that term divine right action, because I think we sometimes use it as a scapegoat for things in our lives that maybe we're just trying to justify. Does that
mm,
make sense? Like,
yeah,
oh,
it's like that. I forget the quote. It's like a Bible verse or something. People always pull it up. Something about faith, and it rubs me the wrong way. Like the
is
word
it a description of
divine
faith?
right action.
Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm a
right.
unity minister now, so a lot more
Yeah.
scripturally tip of my tongue.
And I don't know why it the reason it pokes me is because people are using it, in my experience, as spiritual bypass,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And I don't like, there, do not spiritually bypass in front of me. I will call you on it.
hmm hmm
Right? In our Tammy and I's ministry, if you want a loving, compassionate response, you go to Tammy. If you want the cosmic 2x4, you call Steph up. Right? I'm not gonna tiptoe. God is great, and you are great because you are that.
hmm
Get out of your own way, bud. Like I say things like that, and she's like, "Oh, Muffin, let's sit and have a pot of tea.
Yeah,
And yeah, so but it takes all kinds, and you go to the right practitioner for you."
exactly. Like, let us all acknowledge that we are not the right people for all people.
That's right.
And,
Yes.
and boy, I learned my lesson in ministry the hard way around that. Like, there was a time in ministry early, I think this is true of many early ministers when they're
Yeah.
first like in the field, like, oh, I'm a minister now, right? They kind of want to be the answer. They want to be all things to all people. I'm like, you
Ugh.
can never be that. And so
No.
be your most authentic self, and the people that are attracted to your authenticity are going to show up, and
Absolutely.
those are your people. Those are your people. So
I've done it both ways.
yeah,
And I choose just to be authentic and real. And I
yeah.
have never said so much in my life the last 2 years. I don't know.
hmm
Being okay with not knowing something? Oh
hmm
my gosh.
yeah.
Liberating.
Well, one of my favorite mantras is this: I know nothing. Now what can I know?
What can I
Like,
know?
opening it up to what is possible. What is the infinite possibility inherent in this moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my beloved community members, Peg Bobber, she brought into our life a long time ago. What's the best that could happen?
Right?
Right? Instead of like going down the rabbit hole of what's the worst that could happen, what's the best that could happen?
hmm
What's
hmm
the best that could happen? And then if you just shift your perspective. That's all you have to do to change your life, is shift your perspective. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Just
There's
shift your
a
perspective.
there's a country song that a community member asked if they could sing in service. This is actually before I was at Unity. This is back when I was still growing Tucson New Thought. And we were in our, we had just moved into a larger space, and like gratefully, I was not tied into that lease because I literally was hired at Unity like shortly thereafter. But there was a community member who came and said, I want to sing this song. It's a country song. And will you coach me on it? Because I need some support and help. I'm like, absolutely, like bring it. But the song is called What If It All Goes Right?
Mm,
And it is very much in alignment with, New Thought philosophy. What if it all goes right? What if we truly lived from that point of view? What if it all goes right? What would life look like then?
yeah.
Question to ponder.
Everyone has food and a safe space to sleep.
Everyone is provided for. Well, and that also goes in alignment. So I've been teaching spiritual economics. So this kind of conscious like conversation has been happening for well, last week was week 5. And we were talking about, I wonder if I have it here actually. I do keep my notes sitting around on my desk sometimes. So that's week 3. There's a movie that you may be familiar with. The movie is called I Am. And in this movie, Tom Shadyac, he was a Hollywood director. He directed a lot of the Jim Carrey movies, and he was very success in Hollywood, right? And he made millions and millions and millions of dollars. He had an accident on a bicycle, suffered a traumatic brain injury, and completely transformed his life because he had an awakening in that experience. And he said, I realized in that what was really important, and it was not all the trappings of financial wealth. And so he said it made him really go on a different journey. And he this is one of the things that he says in the movie. He says, an ocean, a rainforest, the human body are all cooperatives. The redwood tree doesn't take all the soil and nutrients, just what it needs to grow. A lion doesn't kill every gazelle, just one. We have a term for something in the body when it takes more than its share. We call it cancer.
Cancer.
And that, I think, is maybe a way to consider wrapping ourselves up today. Is that what you're talking about is there is enough for everyone.
Absolutely.
And in what way are we going to manage the resources available to ensure that everyone is provided for?
Yeah.
That's something that I think we can all participate in.
Oh, I'm gonna dream up a world in my mind that is a global cooperative. Could you just imagine? Could you just imagine no hungry babies on this whole planet? Could you just imagine that? Could you just imagine everyone, getting the help they need or being supported in the ways they need to be supported? And there is no us or them.
Right.
We are one people, one planet, flying through space that is infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've really started, I'm even stepping away from calling Unity of Tucson a spiritual community. I'm leaning into referring to it always as a spiritual cooperative, where we all have a stake in each other's spiritual growth and well-being.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving from the I am to the we are. Yeah. Hi, Martha.
Thank you, Leah.
Catching us for the last little bit. Yes.
Yeah, and we're about to sign off.
Yes, we are. So what's going on for Unity of Tucson this tonight? You have anything?
Yeah, tonight we have our monthly sound healing, which is in Harmony Hall here at Unity of Tucson. You can find information about where we're located on unitytucson.com. I do have I do have a lower third to put up. Go to unitytucson.com. That's our website. You can find out about things that are happening. A lot of it's listed on the calendar page. So, if you don't see it like right on the homepage, just know that it's there. So we have our sound healing tonight. We have a special event on Saturday. It's called Carols, Cookies, and Pirate Cheer. and it's great for the kids. It's yeah, basically it's we're going to do some caroling here, and then we're going to do a screening of a video of a play musical that I was in every Christmas for like 6 or 7 years, called Yo Ho Ho, A Pirate's Christmas, and I play the captain of the pirate ship. Anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. Uh,
That's going to
I'm
be a
just
lot
gonna,
of fun.
yeah, it's just going to be like lighthearted fun that night. So I'd love to see if you want to join for that. Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
awesome.
we have Wednesday night events. We also will have a candlelight Christmas Eve service here, as we do every year.
Love
Always
it.
delighted to share in that experience. So,
Hmm.
check it out,
Yeah.
unitytucson.com.
Well, over at oneloveawakening.com, we this Saturday and the first Saturday of every month, we've got Contemplation Corner, where playful curiosity meets profound spiritual truths, and we chew on more ideas like this, and but have conversation, and discuss and make it practical and useful in our own lives. So
Nice.
that's the first Saturday of every month, and then we are going to be doing, or I'm going to be doing, just a nice soft winter solstice um, contemplative kind of event on the third Sunday of December, which is December 21st.
So
So
solstice.
all of that's not on the website yet, but that's coming out. And so Contemplation Corner is our big thing that's next.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So yay. Yeah.
Yay. I love you,
Okay,
Steph.
beloveds. I love you, Jonathan. And we love all of you
Love
watching, and thanks for
all of you.
contributing. Thanks for being here and sharing your energy. Make sure
Mhm.
you love and like and share this post so that we change the algorithm to a more loving, powerful place to be.
Yes.
And until we get to see you again, have an awesome week.
Bye.